Ladies and gentlemen, it is Charlie Fibrosis, and today we are going to be continuing with my NASCAR collection. So I've definitely had a lot of fun doing this as I started this series yesterday, and part of me wants to just go ahead and get this all done while I've got the motivation and energy to do so. We're going to have a lot of fun with this, so I just want to thank you all for coming out to watch last time, and I hope that you enjoy this segment as well. So the first thing that I want to make clear is while I do have a few stuff in the modern day, like literally 2017, 2016 or so, it's gotten much harder in recent years for me to actually find much NASCAR stuff. One of the big events that I used to go to that, unfortunately, I think it's going to shut down in about a year's time, was a NASCAR festival locally here at a local Kroger's. And while I enjoyed it very much and loved going there, it's just gotten smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And generally that was where I would get like all my new hero cards and all that other stuff. And unfortunately the money has just shrunk so much in that event that this year I think there were only like 4 cars that they had to show, 4 to 6 cars, only a couple of things to do, and maybe 2 hero cards you could pull from. So unfortunately most of my stuff that I want to get nowadays is going to go through eBay or so, and it sucks. It really, really sucks because I like collecting all this stuff. But we're going to go ahead and hit on, and we are going to work on this. So this has got some stuff from the 2002, 2003 year. Got some stuff during the time it was called Nextel. Got some time during it when it was called Sprint. And there isn't much in Monster Energy, but I want to keep this sheet in because Monster Energy would take up a lot more space and a lot more ink. So we're just going to move on and we're going to get right into it. Plus, like, exclusively for Monster Energy, there's not a lot of stuff that I've got anyway, so we'll go ahead and do this. So we'll go ahead and flip open the book. And this is definitely something pretty cool. So I can't exactly remember where I got these 6 cards from, but these are actually pretty cool. They're kind of a silvery, holographic type look on them. So we got Mark Martin, Jeff Burton, Greg Biffle, Matt Kenseth, Kurt Busch. Like, these are pretty cool, and I do like them a lot. I think I got them from the NASCAR fan. I know that much. But how I exactly came about them is like, I don't know. I don't know if Kraft was just handing them out or what. So then we got this, and I kind of would like to get another package of this particular year or close enough to it, because these Coca-Cola Racing family cards are actually pretty dang cool. So I in particular like these cards a lot. So we got Steve Park, we got Bill Elliott, we got Michael Waltrip. That one is actually signed by Mikey. I got that back in 2009 when I went to the Brickyard 400 and got to walk all around with special passes, and so I got to go even onto the close to the garage floor. So just everything. So I got to meet Michael Waltrip and I got his autograph. Then on the next page, and I'm sorry I kind of keep moving my camera about. It's probably the best I'm going to be able to get. So we got Bobby Labonte, Tony Stewart, Ricky Rudd, Kevin Harvick, John Andretti, Kyle Petty. I got this signed when I was at Victory Junction back in 2009 as well. Dale Jarrett, Kurt Busch, and Jeff Burton. So I've always loved these Coca-Cola Racing family cards, and they've got good information on the back of it. This one, most of this stuff is set up so it goes numerically. Not in the case of all, though. So I have to say this is probably my favorite card, because I promise you this Richard Petty card, when I remember when I was little, I looked at it, and it looked like a young version of Elvis. And I think also the fact that the Hawaiian style shirt also kind of brought on that thought a little bit. So yeah, I've always loved that Richard Petty card. It's just really cool. These two are out of sequence in terms of numerical order. These are much later on in time, but I like them because they're black and white. So we got Glenn Wood, we got Tim Flock, we got a card of Dale Earnhardt Jr. I kind of want to take a peek at this real quick. I don't know if there's anything on the other side inherently. Yeah, there is. There's nothing actually much on the back here in terms of cards, so I can show you a little bit of stuff right here. So this is his blue Daytona 500 winning card that it came with the die cast, and I just threw that in there. And then this is just a cardboard cutout, so it's got some information on it. Two-time Busch Grand National Champion, first win at Texas in 2000, first rookie to win the All-Star, best 7th place finish in the 2001 point standings. So it doesn't have a lot of information about Dale Jr., but I like it. It's just simple. I think it just came off of like a Ritz box, and kind of like in the last thing that I showed you, like there was stuff like that. Oh, this is cool. So I do have a Michael Waltrip card here, but I do want to show you something else. So I can't remember what exactly this was, where it was, or anything else like that. But this is actually kind of interesting. So apparently Postopia, so Post Serial and such, they had a game that you could play online, and this card was available. And what's cool about this is, first of all, this is a holographic card. So I can turn it either way, and you guys can see the 99 card flashing out of there. But it does have Jeff Burton's biographical information on the back of it. But it also has this little blue screen here, and you would hold it up to your computer screen, and you could read whatever the code was that they had hidden behind it. And then, strangely enough, behind that, I have a card of the late Colin McRae from the World Rally Car Racing, I think. World Rally Cars, something along those lines. So I've got 3 cards in one slot. So there's that. Moving on, we got Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, Sterling Marlin. All these are like 2003, 2002 era. Coy Gibbs, Randy LaJoy, Ricky Rudd, Dale Jr. This is, in terms of like the actual design, I like this card just because how it's cut out. Another Greg Biffle, I like that design. Jimmy Johnson, an interesting Johnny Sauter card down here. And then these came out of like, these two, well, no, this came out of like a Reese's package. And you could scratch off and you'd win some money. And then I've actually got a whole bunch of these Ricky Craven 32 Tide cards. I think I've got like a stack of 50 of them or so somewhere. Tony Stewart, Rusty Wallace, Dale Jr.'s Over the Wall team. I always love these Over the Wall cards, by the way, because it reflected something that was different than what you would see in typical cards. Kevin Harvick, Christian Fittipaldi, the only one that Fittipaldi card I have. I kind of like these cards. These were interesting. These big scene cards. So we got Bobby Labonte. I think that one down there. That's Jimmy Johnson. Mark Martin, couple Mark Martin cards. Kurt Busch, Dave Blaney, Jeff Burton. A signed but slightly smudged Elliott Sadler 38 card. That's when I met Elliott back in 2005, I believe. Mark McFarland. I think he raced for Dale Jr. a little bit. Jason Keller, John Wood, Jeff Jefferson from I think that's the K&N series. NASCAR Touring series. I've never heard of him, and I don't know anything about him. Another over-the-wall card with Mark Martin's pit crew. I think, well, this is 2005. So these are the 2005 over-the-wall cards. So we got Dale Jr., Kurt Busch, a Dale Jr., another Dale Jr. card, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Dale Jr., Elliott Sadler card that's kind of interesting. It's like a mobile flip phone. Casey Kane card from when he drove the 38. Tyler Walker before his NASCAR career and everything imploded on him. Carl Edwards over the wall. Carl Edwards doing the flip. I think, yeah, Dale Jr. winning his final race with DEI before he went to Hendrick Motorsports. Greg Biffle, Terry Cook, one of my favorite truck drivers. Harvick, Biffle, Menard. Jeff Green, Casey Mears, Dale Jr., a card from when he won the 2004 Daytona 500. Another Dale Earnhardt Jr. card. What is the event? Let me see. Just another Dale Jr. card. Jimmy Johnson card. Martin Truex card. 2007 Daytona 500 card for Harvick winning it. Jeff Burton. Kelly Byers, who I don't know much about. I don't know much about Kelly Byers, but I do like the style of the card. It looks like a iPod, which was big back in the day. Jimmy Johnson, Dale Jr., Jeff Burton, Kevin Harvick, David Reagan, Brian Vickers, Kurt Busch, David Gilliland, Sam Hornish, Joe Nemechek, Michael McDowell, Greg Biffle, Cale Gale, Dale Jr., Harvick, Scott Wimmer, Dale Jr. in the 88, Kyle Edwards, Kyle Busch, which I think these eventually became the over-the-wall cards. No, they stopped that line. Hey, I'm just going over my NASCAR card books. I do apologize if you have missed a lot of it, but just having some fun with this. I did a video yesterday on the 1999 season. I'm just doing one on the 2003 and beyond. A few. I have like one which is a Coca-Cola Racing family, which you guys can see at the beginning of the video and near the beginning. But let me just continue going through, okay? If that's alright. Some more cards. So, let's see here. That's Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch. And then I collected a few of these. I didn't collect all of them because card packs are just expensive. And they're getting harder and harder to find. But they had this special line with Stewart in his final year at Joe Gibbs, and I put him in order. So there's that. So it's 4 Tony Stewart cards from there to there. And there's another Tony Stewart card. Kyle Edwards, top 12. Jeff Gordon, top 12. Top 12 of Kevin Harvick. And I was kind of a big fan of Joey Logano earlier when they first started. So I went ahead and put these Logano cards here. A Bobby Labonte card down here, and then a Dale Earnhardt card, which is strange because I didn't expect we would see like a few Dale Earnhardt cards. Dale Earnhardt, Kyle Busch, and then surprisingly, these are indeed Press Pass. Press Pass typically makes the cards, except what I'm going to be getting sometime soon is the Max 1991 cards. So I can dump them in the 99 card book. But these are cool because they actually have the biographical information. So we got Kurt Busch, Robbie Gordon, Denny Hamlin, Greg Biffle, Joey Logano, Ryan Newman. No, I'm sorry, that's Jeff Burton, then Ryan Newman. I forget because I'm so used to Newman in the 31 now. Jimmy Johnson, Sam Hornish, Reagan Smith, Brian Vickers, Bobby Labonte, Kyle Edwards. I kind of wish I had a Dale Earnhardt Jr. car in this grouping. The 11 of Hamlin, the 55 of Waltrip, the 99 of Edwards, Greg Biffle, Jeff Burton, Kevin Harvick, Michael Waltrip, Sam Hornish Jr., Logano, Gordon. I think that's Dale Waltrip. Who is this down here? Let's see here. Oh, it's Rusty Wallace. It's Rusty. These All-Star Awards cards are kind of interesting. So there's that. So we got Davey Allison, Dale Jr., Jeff Gordon, some behind-the-scenes stuff. I think Martin Truex Jr., Brian Vickers, Jeff Gordon, Brian Vickers again. There's a Dale Jr. card, but I think that's a checklist card. Yep, sure as heck it's a checklist card. I never really liked the checklist cards because it just doesn't give me any information. Tony Stewart, Denny Hamlin, Jeff Gordon, Kurt Busch, Carl Edwards, Juan Pablo Montoya, Matt Kenseth, Burton, Logano, McMurray, I believe it is. AJ McMurray. AJ Allmendinger. I got this card signed in 2010 when I met AJ. He came to Victory Junction, and it was just cool getting to sit and talk with him. And since I had all my stuff with him, I had like items signed like everything I could think of. So there's that. We'll go through some of that extra stuff later. Reed Sorensen, Michael Waltrip, Robbie Gordon, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Ricky Stenhouse, Brian Scott, Colin Braun, Ricky Carmichael, Joey Logano card, Marcus Ambrose card, Carl Edwards card, Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson, Michael Waltrip. AJ Allmendinger had him sign that card as well. Rex White, which is interesting. Allmendinger, this one could not get signed just because of the finish on it, which sucks a little bit, but he tried. Sam Hornish, Denny Hamlin, 42 of Juan Pablo, Jimmy Johnson, Juan Pablo Montoya, Marcus Ambrose, let's see here, Kurt Busch card down there, Kyle Busch, Ron Hornaday, Kyle Busch, David Ruderman, NASCAR Hall of Fame card, doesn't exactly say. Prelude to the Dream, Jimmy Johnson. I think that is a Brad Keselowski's 2009 first win card. James Busher. My apologies, not Chris. Denny Hamlin, Mark Martin in the 5, Reagan Smith in the 78. Kurt Busch, and then Dale Jr., who won the July Wrangler Daytona event that he did in the Busch series, which is sweet. Tony Stewart, Matt DiBenedetto, back when he drove for Gibbs, and then Ron Hornaday and Denny Hamlin. Mark Martin, another AJ Allmendinger card with a few other drivers. It's got a few different drivers on here. Specifically, it talks about Allmendinger, but it's got 4 drivers' faces in there. Another James Busher card. Brad Keselowski, Bobby Labonte, Sam Hornish, Jeff Gordon, Clint Boyer, and then this one is actually kind of cool, just for how simple it is. It's kind of like a ticket stub. And it's of Juan Pablo when he won at Watkins Glen. That's actually pretty dang cool. So, go ahead and slide that back in there. It's the thinnest card that I have. Yeah, James Busher, after his truck career, went on to do real estate. And then Chris Busher is still racing in NASCAR. Okay. And then we're going to get to here. This is just a simple last page because there's going to be some special stuff coming up. Let's see here. Mark Martin. NASCAR replaces the wing with the spoiler. Jeff Gordon. That's a Matt DiBenedetto card. That one says it right on the front. Truex, a Bobby Allison card. And then just kind of similar in the same vein to the 99 Hero cards and such. I've got a Mr. Kool-Aid and a Planters Peanuts card in here just to kind of fill it out. Just kind of for the hell of it. Alright, so this one is actually kind of special to me. I remember getting a big box set. And this is an old show. Let me think here. What was it called? Shifting Gears. And this is the entire set. I think. I'm pretty certain it's the entire set. But it goes all through Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s transition from from DEI to Hendrick Motorsports, and just kind of little highlights throughout his career. Always a cool thing to see. So I think I got the entire series there. I got some more Shifting Gears cards. More Shifting Gears. And then, disappointingly, I kind of wish I did this. There was a 25% off purchase card. I think that maybe that was bought like a year later. But I could have gotten some Dale Earnhardt Jr. memorabilia with that. Though, as I think about it, that was like 2008 or so when that whole series came out. So I didn't even have a job yet. So probably couldn't. But I went ahead and kept it and just kept it around because it's something. Alright, back into the regular cards. Trevor Bayne, Reagan Smith, Johanna Long, Ron Hornaday Jr., Miguel Paludo, Casey Kane, Dale Earnhardt Jr. with his NASCAR Unites, I think so, and then Martin Truex Jr., Clint Boyer, Dale Jr., Jeff Gordon, Denny Hamlin, Mark Martin in the 55 then, Juan Pablo, let's see here, David Reagan, Tony Stewart, and Justin Allgaier. And then I didn't even know I actually had one of these. Parker Kligerman. I've got a Parker Kligerman card and I didn't even know it. Travis Pastrana. I knew I had one of those. Brian Vickers. Carl Edwards. Another Travis Pastrana card. Casey Kane. And then Jimmy Johnson. And that was the last year I ever got an NASCAR card. So this was in 2014. So I haven't collected a single pack or gotten anything for Christmas card-wise in about 3 years now. That's kind of interesting and a little sad too. But that's okay. We go into this final few pages. So these are actually kind of cool because they're similar to the hologram cards. And I like these because they also have the bio info and everything else like that. So let me just go ahead and show you. You guys remember earlier how I said that I have a Dale Earnhardt Jr. card that was based off of, if you guys can see it right, like, it's that white and blue card that he won in 2004 with. And I love these cards. Like, they're just cool. So we got, and I think it's because they're all with Kraft and Nilla and everything else like that. Nabisco. We got Dale Jr., we got Michael Waltrip, we got Matt Kenseth, and then the 97 of Kurt Busch. We flip to the back, and I'm eventually going to take this out and put it into a different card book, but it is two things, actually. There's a Steve Kinzer just sheet in here from back when he used to race for himself, and then behind that, I would normally put stuff like this in the back here. I don't want to show it only because there's a mailing address on the back there that I never ripped off. But it's a Lowe's themed kind of magazine. I can at least show you the front of it and some of it. Yeah, there's a address on the back of here, but this was like 2004, I think, 2004, 2005. And there was a Jimmy Johnson trading card in here that I did put and kind of show you guys earlier. I don't really want to go through it only because I'm actually not a big fan of Jimmy Johnson. But there's that. But here's the thing. As they say, don't touch that dial because that's just the cards. We're not even, and my phone just went off. That's just the cards. That's just one half of it. We've also got hero cards to go through and a whole bunch of other stuff. There we go. That's kind of heavy. Alright. So just like the hero card, the regular cards, we got the hero cards now. And this has got a lot of stuff in it too. A little bit, probably going to be a little bit easier to go through it, but so-so. Okay, so let's get into it. Very first thing that opens up in terms of like timing and everything like that, because this was back in 2003, we got a very special 7-person hero card here. So we got Mark Martin, Greg Biffle, Kenseth, Busch, Burton, John Wood, and Carl Edwards as he was kind of up and coming, which is cool. We got a very simple Kodak Racing Team number 4 here. I will say that I actually have and plan on increasing this area of my collection some. I like going back in time and getting some other hero cards that just reflect a different driver's career. And this next one is in turn of that. So I've got a Bill Elliott and Jeremy Mayfield hero card here. Disappointingly, though, I found out that it does not have any bio info. I love the bio info, and that kind of saddens me a bit. Ward Burton, back when he won the 2002 Daytona 500. A Todd Bodine hero card from when he drove the National Guard machine, and it caught in flame at Michigan. Big Craft Racing one, so we got a whole bunch of drivers here. Edwards. Let me just stand up and look at it. We got... Oh, come on. Don't get the wires twisted up. There we go. There goes my hat. So we got Carl Edwards over here. Michael Waltrip. Truex. Jr. Martin. Biffle. Busch. Burton. Kenseth. We got all of them. Got Tony Stewart hero card from 2005-ish or so, from when he won the Brickyard 400. I actually have quite a few of these. These Ken Schrader, Little Debbie hero cards. I collected a lot of these for some reason. Kevin Harvick. This one is actually pretty cool, but it does unfortunately have some damage to it. So the way that it used to be was, and this is actually really pretty, I used to have this as the cover of an old hero card, and so, or an old book. But unfortunately, what happened was the print that was originally there, inky and everything like that, got on the back here and kind of smudged up Elliott Sadler's face. But the nice thing that I do like about this is it has biographical information on Robert Yates and Elliott Sadler and their history and everything like that. Part of me kind of wonders if there's a way I could clean this up, but I don't know. Also, unfortunately, I think that card book was used as a drawing surface a few times because I can see some like little marks on them and such. This one is an interesting story, so I'm going to go ahead and sit back down because I don't want to fall and injure myself any further than I already am. There was a guy that I met at Kentucky Speedway one year, and I don't exactly know what his connection was or anything else like that. In fact, I think I still have the business card of his in here. But he and I sat down and we talked about NASCAR and racing and all that stuff. Just a random guy kind of parked next to us at Kentucky Speedway, and I'm like 9, 10 years old maybe, so I'm still pretty young. And we're just talking about NASCAR and such. And he went ahead and he was so kind as to send me a hero card in the mail, and this is signed by Casey Mears. And it's so cool to me because I feel bad that I don't really remember it. Like, I don't really remember much about the conversation or so, and I don't remember the guy's name. And I feel bad because I don't think I ever wrote back to him, but like... Sorry, I'm not sneezing. Excuse me. So yeah, I don't really remember much about it and everything like that, but he didn't have to do that. And he was kind enough to, like, either out of his own personal collection or through connections, he got me a hero card, and that was just so nice of him. Yep, I still actually have the card back here. Kyle Busch hero card back when he was with Hendrick Motorsports. Another Ken Schrader card. Grabbed a little bit too much there. Jamie McMurray, which I kind of like this. This is kind of interesting. So, one of the things in my collection that I used to have is it's both like a photo album and you can get autographs with it. When I went to the 2009 Brickyard 400, I didn't have this hero card with me to get signed, and I thought I did, but I did have this sheet of paper, and I had Travis Quapple sign it. The interesting part of the story is that Travis wasn't racing in the 2009 event, but he was doing spotter work for one of the teams, and there were like 3 people that came up to me. One guy walked up and I said, "Are you 2003 truck champion Travis Quapple?" He was like, "No," because they were just messing with me. Second guy, "Are you 2003 champion Travis Quapple?" No, I'm just pulling your leg. Third guy is Travis Quapple. So I had him sign this and then give me his date of birth, just because, like I said, it's that little special touch that I like and I like to do. Sorry, got something in my throat. David Stremme, back when he took over the 20, not the 20, the 40. Give me 1 second, please, guys. There we go. David Stremme, when he took over for Sterling Marlin, back in the day. Bobby Labonte when he took over the 43. And then this is actually kind of cool. I'm so glad that they made these, but like, one's a Richard Petty, one's Bobby Labonte, and I like both of them a lot. A Jeff Gordon hero card, which I particularly like because it does have bio information and such on it. Then these are kind of cool. Bobby Labonte again in 2008, that says, and then one of Richard Petty. Richard Petty's just always awesome. And then by far, my favorite Dale Earnhardt Jr. hero card, which I'm actually going to go ahead and take out of the sheet protector. And try not to mess up, because it's the only one I got. There we go. There's kind of something on the back here. I'm just trying to scrub it away. This is Dale Jr.'s debut year in NASCAR with the 88 team. And I'm glad because it's got the bio info and everything like that, which is great. Alright, slide that back in there. Come on. I'm going to move the mic out of the way. There we go. Right back in it goes. Alright, Casey Mears. I don't even know actually what year this one is from, because these are back to back. I don't know. 2009. This year, what is it? Oh, they're both 2009. I don't know exactly how I got 2 of these from the same year, but like, they're just different. It's kind of interesting. I'm not a big Casey Mears fan, but like, it's kind of cool. I don't know. David Ruderman. Kind of like that one. Kurt Busch, Mark Martin when he went over to the 5, David Reagan, David Stremme. This one is kind of cool. So a former teacher of mine, I was like one of a good student with her and everything like that. Her son, I think, worked or works for PNG, so Procter and Gamble. And I guess one day, like Tony and we'll see a little bit later, Ryan Newman, were in the airport here in the town we live in. And either Tony had some hero cards on him along with Ryan, and they just met up with him and they were signing and such, or he was at an event nearby, or I don't exactly know the whole story. But she sent me this, and this is pretty cool because, like, I didn't really become a big fan. I didn't really start to like Tony Stewart until he got into the 14 and started doing his own thing. But to have the signature of a 3-time Sprint Cup champion, and more importantly, for him to have won his championship, like, only like 2 years after starting up his team, like, that's pretty damn impressive. So we got Tony here. We got a Kyle Busch one here. Most of these I go ahead and sort through the driver number first, and then the year first and foremost. Elliott Sadler hero card. Joey Logano hero card. I have another Joey Logano hero card, and this one was signed at the 2009 Brickyard 400. Jeff Gordon with his red and black paint scheme, which is sweet. Jeff Burton in the Prilosec car. Clint Boyer with Richard Childress Racing still in the 33. And then this is the one that was signed by Newman at that airport, I think it was. This one's kind of interesting. Juan Pablo Montoya. So here is his. And then right here, I know it's hard to see, but that's Felix Tabares. So the co-owner of Chip Ganassi Racing. We have a Richard Petty signed hero card, and this particular type is by far my favorite. So this is an interesting story. So remember how I said earlier that I met Kyle Petty at Victory Junction? Well, the night before it was time to leave, we all got up on this hill, and there was a bonfire. And what we did was we wrote a wish on a popsicle stick. And we would take that popsicle stick and we would toss it into the fire and hope that our wish came true. Well, a camper that was like bunkmates with me, we were in the same cabin and everything like that, and we're both big Dale Earnhardt Jr. fans, and I talk to him every now and then. Everybody's name is Justin. He and I bonded really, really well that 2009 year. And it was getting late. I had to go home. I had to go back to the cabin and do treatments and everything like that. My buddy Justin was tired. And this is kind of funny, like, through the whole story. And so, like, I was pushing this guy in his wheelchair, like, almost the entire time. I just bonded with him so much that I was like, you know what, counselors, I would love to be able to push this new friend of mine around and hang out with him. And that way I can, like, push and talk to him and everything else like that. So we get back to the cabin, and each of the cabins I think holds like maybe 9 people, I believe, 9 to 10 campers, and then split down the middle. Behind us would be where the counselors sleep. So it's a little bit of a wide cabin at least. And it's cool. It's really, really cool. If you ever get to go see Victory Junction or anything like that. But anyway, we get back, and one of the counselors is there with us, and we're just sitting down talking. And one of the counselors comes in, and he's like, hey, listen, Justin and Blake, I've got something for you, and it's really, really cool. And he hands us these. Richard Petty apparently walked up that hill like a few minutes after Justin and I and the counselor left and headed back to our cabin, and Richard was handing out autographs and everything like that, and this was my first Richard Petty autograph, and it is so freaking cool. This one is by far my favorite just because of the placement of the signature especially, but more than anything else, what I love about it, I love love that Oldsmobile. Like, that is such an old car. And it's just what he started running in his NASCAR career. And it's so cool to see. So yeah, that was like in June of 2009. And then we go to the next page, and you're probably thinking, well, what is this? What? Yep, it's another one. We actually went to the Richard Petty Museum right after we left the camp on the final day, and they were giving out a whole bunch of these hero cards. And what was cool is it's the exact same one. And this one is when I got to meet Richard himself. Let me kind of tell the story, at least I'm getting to meet Richard. So myself and a person who was a counselor at Victory Junction. Yes, he does. He has a very epic signature. Richard, a woman who was a counselor, is a counselor at Victory Junction. She and her ex-husband used to own a racing team. I believe their team was like Diamond Motorsports, I believe it was. And they had guys like Elton Sawyer and I think Elliott Sadler and a couple other people. Well, because they owned that team, she and her husband at the time, they knew so many people in NASCAR. Because they ran competitively for a good number of years, like early 90s or so, and then shut down in the early 2000s. So at least a 10-year period. So because of all their connections, she and Richard Petty Motorsports, they got me like the best seat in the house at the 2009 Brickyard 400. I got garage passes. I got to sit up in the suites and watch the race. They had catered food for all the VIP guests. And I'm just a guy from Ohio, you know. I'm not anything important, but I made I made such an impact on this person's life, and she took the time and took all the planning and everything like that and offered me the greatest experience ever. And I got to see not only my very first cup race, but I got to see my very first race at Indianapolis. And Indianapolis is just like so close to me. Because at the time, they didn't have Kentucky. Kentucky didn't have a cup schedule yet. So I met Richard. Didn't really talk to him much because some reporters came up shortly after us and wanted to talk to him. But getting to meet the king is absolutely amazing. And it's so cool. And yes, I do actually have a clean version of this. I just like the hero card. It's so cool. And then, speaking of which, in 2010, I got to go back to Victory Junction. And this is kind of cool. So I got all the members of the 43's pit crew to sign off on here. And then AJ Allmendinger. And yeah, I had him sign his birth date. Just the thing I do. So there was that. And then right behind that is a regular AJ Allmendinger hero card. I don't believe... No, that never got signed, but that was okay. I don't think I actually had it with me. I just got a sheet of notebook paper and then just had them all sign it. So that was either when he was in the 43 or the 44. I don't remember which. Marcus Ambrose. I would love to meet Marcus Ambrose one day. He just brought a lot of diversity to NASCAR, which is awesome. Michael Waltrip in the 55. 77 is Sam Hornish Jr. Reagan Smith in the 78. I got these at the NASCAR Hero, or not NASCAR Hero, the NASCAR Festival one year. Because of how tiny they are, I just went ahead and stuck them back to back. But we got, oh wow, I don't even understand exactly what I did, but we got 1 year of Just Scott Speed. I guess that was when what's his name? When Vickers was sick. But we got one of Brian Vickers and one of Scott Speed. And these are always kind of cool because they're just small. That's the biggest thing. They're just small. And I think it's kind of funny and cool that Scott Speed came from Formula One and started running in NASCAR and such. I know technically Juan Pablo kind of did the same thing, but I don't know, just kind of cool. Yeah, yeah. I'll go ahead and talk about that. I do kind of wonder what AJ's career would have been like. I gotta say, I think Logano fits a little bit better in the 22 than Allmendinger did. Um, but I think that's just because we know what Logano has managed to do in the 22. And I kind of wonder what Logano's career would have been like if, AJ hadn't gotten fired from Penske. But I definitely wonder. I like AJ Allmendinger. Let me make that clear. I just feel bad for him because it's like he's got a decent team in the 47, but it's just not amazing. And I don't know. I just really don't know. I will say though, I am proud of him with what he managed to do when he has run a few events here and there with Penske back in the day in their Busch program. So there was that. Then I got a Dale Earnhardt Jr. Hero card, and this is why some of these really don't appeal to me as much anymore, because unfortunately it's nothing but the schedule. So for a lot of these guys, it's just schedule, and I don't really like that too much. If I wanted to look at the schedule, I can look at the phone or anything else like that. The cool thing is this exact picture I actually have as a cover on my door looking on the inside. I did a tour in my bedroom like years ago, like a few years ago, honestly, and this is like the coolest thing because it's just a giant stand-up, and it's just like screwed into my door, and it just is such a good set. It's just such a good piece. It's something that draws your eye to it, and I won that by a question trivia thing. And the question was, who was Dale Earnhardt's father? Or who was Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s grandfather? Ralph Earnhardt. Carl Edwards. So we got that. A giant poster that was destroyed of Carl Edwards, which actually had his autograph on it, unfortunately. I managed to salvage the autograph, and I salvaged the 99. But unfortunately, the poster is long gone. It was so crumpled up and destroyed, and I can't believe like that actually happened because that poster probably would have been worth some money. This is the 2009 starting lineup. It's just all the starting lineup from the race, and I put it here. My dad printed this out in the day of the race, which is awesome. Yeah, I miss the 99 too. I miss it. So there's that's just nothing but the starting lineup, which definitely means a lot to me. And it was a good guide as well to know this is the paint scheme that drivers are racing, this is the car that people are racing, so on and so forth. Clip Boyer. So there's that. Jimmy Johnson. I kind of like this one because it does have some information on Chad Knaus and so. But it's strange because it's so similar to my Steve Park one. And this kind of feels like something out of a, like, kind of a calendar. Like, it's got this glossy finish to it. And you just... Oh, it opens up sideways. I'm sorry. And you got Joe, you got Jimmy, you got Chad. You got the birth dates and stuff. So look at this. Yeah, Chad Knaus is like a month... Like a few years older, but not by much. We got Jimmy and Chad. Slide that back in. I sometimes forget that that's actually just a regular hero. That this is not a regular hero card. That it does open up. Marcus Ambrose and the 47. This one's kind of cool because it is another one of these hologram cards. I can't really show you all that well, unfortunately, but it is holographic, and it's of Kevin Harvick in his Shell Pennzoil car. Then my favorite driver from the two, Big Bad Brad Keselowski, Mark Martin in the Quaker State car, Kyle Busch in the M&M's car, Jeff Gordon in the Pepsi Max, and this one has the schedule as well, which I don't like. That's a 2011 schedule, so we're getting close to the end. Kevin Harvick and the 29. I'm just trying to flip the page. Clint Boyer and then Dale Earnhardt Jr. which is also another schedule, 2011. Carl Edwards when he got Kellogg's and so to sign up with him. Harvick again. Jeff Burton with the Wheaties paint scheme. This received a little bit of damage and it's not awful. I could definitely clean it up and fix it, but it's 2 Stenhouse hero cards. I kind of want to take a peek real quick and see what the actual difference is. Yeah, there's a little difference. I could definitely get some like cutters, like a line cutting tool and like trim the damaged edge a little bit, because I think it just got unfortunately bumped around a little bit. Kyle Busch, my least favorite NASCAR driver. Jeff Burton in the, I think that was Cheerios. Yeah, Cheerios in the 31. Eric Almirola in the 43. A Dr. Pepper cutaway car. Austin Dillon. And there's that. There's Austin Dillon. Another Eric Almirola hero card. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Bobby Labonte in the 47. I got a couple of these in here just because I unfortunately ran out of room. And it really didn't change too much, honestly. But a couple of Carl Edwards hero cards from when he had Frosted Flakes and so. Why is Kyle your least favorite? Yeah, the attitude. I'm gonna be very simple about it. I respect Kyle Busch in terms of his driving talent. He is really one of the best drivers out there, and without a doubt, he deserves a lot of the fans that he gets. My biggest issue is I don't particularly like it when he goes out and he dominates all the truck races and all the Busch races, and then, you know, does okay in like the Cup Series, but he still goes out and he's got the best equipment. He's got equipment no one can contend with when he's racing in truck and Busch. So him being like a frequent bushwhacker bothers me a lot. And yeah, his attitude is like, it bothers me a lot. Because a driver who is so talented and so good on the track, just, man, he's got good talent, but he whines, he bitches a lot. And so, and let me make this very clear. I don't have a problem with his Cup success. Like, most of the races that he's won, he kind of deserved it. The one thing that I do not agree with, and it's more of a NASCAR thing than it is a Kyle Busch thing. Kyle Busch's lone championship thus far in his career in the Cup Series was not deserved. NASCAR made a big stupid in allowing Kyle Busch to race for the championship in, I think it was like 2015. That was dumb as hell. Dumb as hell by NASCAR's part. If Kyle Busch went forward and like won the championship this year, which I really hope he doesn't, then maybe I would accept it. But NASCAR, the old rule was, you get injured, you may not be able to win the championship. That's why so many guys like Dale Earnhardt came back and would do crazy stuff to get back in the race car because the championship was that important. Even Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 2004, he got injured. He needed a couple sub-drivers, but he was still in the hunt for the championship near the end. So yeah, I don't like Kyle Busch. I really, really don't. And unfortunately, I think since he won his championship, he's become more of an arrogant ass. So, yeah. So, Carl Edwards. And then I can't really remember exactly what my mom had to do, but she got me and Austin Dillon signed hero card. So I think it was like donate $5 or $10 to something and you would get a signed Austin Dillon hero card, and she gave me one. So that was nice of her. Then we got what's his face, Kevin Harvick in the 4 with Stuart Haas. Another Kyle Busch one. And then this one's a bit of a cheat. This one's a little bit of a cheat. This is one of the last few hero cards in here that is left to show you. This one's a bit of a cheat because this is not made out of card stock or anything like that. But you can do this nationwide, apparently. You can go onto their website and you can print off a hero card. And I, in particular, like this one. This one actually has the bio info on it. And to be completely honest, to go online to eBay, find this exact one, and pay like $4 for it is not worth it. I don't really like doing the whole paper stuff, but you know what? For a simple fix and for a simple patch, this works perfect. And then the last couple of things. We have a Kevin Harvick hero card from this season when he's in the form, when he's with Ford and everything like that. So there's that. And this was received this year. And then this is actually kind of cool. A Ricky Stenhouse Jr. hero card, which I'm probably going to dump in with his others. Maybe. And then this has an interesting story to it as well. So, it's actually a back and forth photo. This is kind of cool. So this is a signed photograph of 7 or 8 time NASCAR championship winning crew chief Dale Inman. So when I went in 2010 to Victory Junction, you know, the entire crew was there, Allmendinger was there, and Dale Inman was there. And I wanted to talk to Dale Inman. I really, really did. But he was like talking to a whole bunch of people, and I wanted to be fair, I wanted to be kind, and he just never really got around to our table, unfortunately. But I sent a letter to Richard Petty, and I got a response back, and the first thing was this, and someday I will show it. I also got a signed, oh, that was it, I'm sorry. I wrote a letter to Richard Petty because I got to go back to Victory Junction. So between 2009 and 2010, I found out about Linda Petty having cancer and everything like that. And I wrote a letter and I delivered it to the Victory Junction staff. They apparently gave it to Richard. Richard, in turn, or the people at Victory Junction got me Dale Inman's autograph, a personalized autograph of Dale Inman to me, and Richard signed the car tomorrow, the winged race car, 200th paint scheme of his 200th win paint scheme to me, and the signature is signed on the windscreen, and that is pretty dang cool. So there's that. And then, I guess I can kind of show this. I won't exactly go into IndyCar next because I still have to go over the Busch series and so. But I want to show this picture as well. When I went to not Victory Junction, when I went to Indianapolis for practice day in 2007, I got this personalized photo too. So that's me inside an 07 IndyCar. Inside the museum and everything like that, and there's, sorry, trying to get that right, there's scrawny old little me inside of a big old IndyCar. But I personally stuck this in here because the protector came with the Indianapolis photo, and I stuck the Dale Inman one in here because I didn't want the photo to get damaged. And the cool thing, it just goes back and forth. It's two great memories I have exactly for that. Alright, guys. So my voice is pretty much gone. And I'm having some sinus issues too today, unfortunately. So as we go back through time, going back to where we started and everything like that. First things first, I really, really want to just thank all of you guys for coming in to watch today. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I cannot wait to do the next episode. I don't know when the next episode of this series is going to be, but I hope it's very soon, because I've still got plenty of stuff to show you. I've got Busch and Truck series stuff to show you. I've got IndyCar stuff to show you. I've got programs to show you. I've got so much more to show you, and I can't wait to share some more of it. So yeah, thank you all very, very much for coming out to watch, and just leave comments down below in the video, in the comment section. And so if you guys have any questions or anything that you would like to specifically see, by all means let me know. I love doing this, and I love interacting with you guys, and I am so ready to just have more of this fun stuff, because this not only gives you a viewing of my experience with NASCAR, and so, but it's just kind of fun to get to share this stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you guys again very, very soon. See you later.